So I'm just going to recap what we did last week using our round brushes. So you see I've got my Meron palette, I'm just activating the white, spent a good wee while doing that. And I'm just popping the tip of the brush in a little bit of the pink paint that's in the palette too. And I'm just going to create some flower petals for you. So again, like we did last week, holding the brush at a 90-degree angle above the skin and just almost laying it onto the skin will give a really easy and very realistic kind of petal effect. Again, you can use any colours for this, but yeah, I quite like the white and pink effects. I'm going in with a smaller liner brush now, very small round brush actually, and I'm just creating little kind of detailed aspects of the flower. And it's always quite good to work in odd numbers when you're doing kind of flowers and body painting, just kind of looks a bit better. Can add a couple of stars in there too. Again, using the same liner brush, having a focal point in the middle, and from there on you're just going to drag the brush out, tapering off at the end, almost like a small teardrop. To make it a little bit more effective, we can add a little bit of glitter in there as well, which is always nice. So you kind of want the paint still to be a little bit wet before we add the glitter in. Moving on to our Filbet brushes. So Filbet brushes are quite large brushes normally. They are the most commonly used brush in body painting, I would say. They're good for kind of filling in areas, for creating round edges, also for flower petals and intricate work. So you can see I can get a nice kind of coverage from the brush, really in control, so I can fill in that area really nicely. The round tip just makes a nice kind of even blend around the edge. So they're good for making like unicorns, for planets, for circles. You can also create nice kind of raindrop effects, having it quite thick at the top, tapering off. You can do a nice teardrop. Loads of different effects there. Just learn how to use your brush. Now once the paint's dry, just add a little bit of detail on there. Just pop a little bit of stars. I'm going to use the Filbet brush, and we're going to quickly show you how to make a little petal as well, because sometimes the round brushes are a little bit harder. So if you can't quite manage the round brush petal, the Filbet brush petal is an easier option for you. So I've applied loads of white, I've dusted off the edge with a wipe, and then I'm just applying a little bit of purple onto the tip of the Filbet brush. Don't want too much on there, but enough to kind of create a nice shade effect. And again, you just lie the brush onto the skin. Not quite as kind of realistic, I find, as the round brush technique, because you are kind of restricted to the shape that you create for your petal, but again, another effective way for making a flower. So this guy is the flat brush. He is fabulous for using in any aspect of body painting. You can cover large areas with him quite quickly, you can create nice line work. You can turn the brush at a different angle so you get a nice kind of skinny line. You can do slants. The list is endless with this guy. So for the purpose of the video, I'm going to use a split cake. I think we used split cakes in the last video, but I'm just going to show you that you can create a really nice different effects with your round brush. So you can go U's and ends, they're called. You can do your line work again, but you can also create petals as well. The split cake gives a nice kind of blended effect, which you can see really nicely when it's all done with the flat brush. You can create really nice petals, and you can also invert them as well, which you'll see here. So I've had the lighter tone in the middle, and now I'm going to go for the lighter tone on the outside of the petal. A little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, super easy. You can also make your own kind of split cake effect with your paint, a little bit harder, a little bit more time consuming, and you need to be conscious that you need to reload your brush like this continuously when you're painting. So I've dipped it in white, and then I'm going to take off the corner edge, as you saw, and I'm just coating that in some blue. So the white will blend into the blue. And then you can see I get that kind of blended effect as well. I could add more colours in there as well by you taking off the corner and just blending in a little bit more. Add maybe a little bit of purple in there or pink. The more colours you add in, the kind of more colourful effect you'll have in your paint. So there you can see there's a bit of purple around the edge, to the blue, to the white in the middle. Now I've used a rainbow split cake and I am making a rainbow, funnily enough. So using the round brush, creating a nice kind of end shape. Once it's dry, I'm going to go in with my Filbet brush, this is the small one, and just using the actual shape of the brush that's already there, I'm just going to create a nice kind of cloud effect at the bottom. So using all the brushes here, I'm just creating a wee look. So you can get a nice kind of flat line along the bottom of the Filbet brush as well, but using the actual shape there, the brush has itself, will create that cloud effect for you. As always, it's always good to have reference pictures whenever you're doing anything, because then you can kind of correct and make it a little bit more realistic. Going in with my liner brush, making nice stars. Again, always really good to work in like 3s or 5s, odd numbers seem to work better. A nice little flower petal at the end, using my round brush again, this is the larger round brush. And then my liner brush for some detailed work. A couple little dots in there to fill in any gaps. Love a star. So it's super easy once you get the hang of your brushes. Using a couple of brushes you can create lovely effects. A little bit of glitter on there. I could use a sponge beforehand and applied a nice base, and that would have covered the whole area really effectively. So give it a shot. I can't wait to see your images, and good luck.